What's up, everybody? Look, I kind of just want to talk about us as people, us as human beings. Like, why isn't enough ever enough? Israel Adesanya had the fight of his life Saturday night. Took a belt from a defending champion. Was masterful in doing so. Was entertaining pre and post fight. But we don't see that. Before his sweat had dried, people are already talking about what's next. John Jones. He hadn't caught his breath. He was still sweaty. And people want to know what's next. Enjoy the moment. The moment's not over. He hasn't given a post-fight speech. Everyone was blowing up about John Jones. And since then, instead of the congratulations, instead of showering him with praises for that masterful performance, instead of thinking and discussing that we have a new Conor McGregor on our hands or someone that's going to exceed Conor McGregor, we're talking about John Jones. Why do we do that? It's the old term, if you get an inch, you'll take a mile. It's one of those you don't know what you got until it's gone. I can keep using analogies all day. I've got them. I'm quick like that. Nobody wants to see John Jones. Nobody in their right mind wants to see John Jones fight Israel Adesanya. The size difference is in too much. Words are hard. The size difference will be too much. Look, Israel Adesanya lives in the Matrix when he fights. But so does John Jones. As crafty as Israel Adesanya is, John Jones is just as creative. If you look at who they fought, it's not even comparable. John Jones's resume crushes Israel Adesanya's. Israel Adesanya has Robert Whittaker, Kelvin Gastelum, and a washed-up Anderson Silva. Again, Anderson Silva could knock on my front door today, and he would whip me every day of this week and twice on Sunday. That being said, Anderson Silva 10 years ago versus Anderson Silva today, you got two completely different fighters. John Jones is bigger, stronger, in my opinion, just as fast and just as creative as Israel Adesanya. He is a bigger version of Israel Adesanya. That's a David versus Goliath fight. That's a early UFC style fight. That's not a Styles make matchup fight. You can't say that. John Jones wrestling is going to destroy Israel Adesanya's wrestling. For MMA grappling, submissions, John Jones by a landslide. I think Israel Adesanya is a blue belt. Still, could twist me into a human pretzel. Israel Adesanya could show up today and play origami with my body. But I'm not John Jones. I didn't tap out Rampage Jackson. I didn't drop Lyoto Machida from a standing guillotine. I didn't let Vitor Belfort break my arm and then tap him out later in the fight. John Jones is on a whole nother level. They're not comparable fighters. We're missing the point, people. The point should be, let's celebrate Adesanya's victory. Let's celebrate Adesanya. Let's give him his due. But instead, we're wanting these dream scenarios, these dream matchups for someone that's way bigger than him, just as skilled and creative, with better grappling. And did I mention way bigger? Did I mention that he lives in the Matrix too? Did I mention that he's just as creative and probably just as fast? What are we doing, guys? Do we just want, excuse me, Israel Adesanya to lose? Do we just want to see him fall from grace already? Is that what it is? We see a new person in the UFC flying high, and we immediately want to see his demise? I don't get it. Instead of celebrating that we have this new superstar on our hands, this new Brock Lesnar, if you will, this new Ronda Rousey, if you will, this new Conor McGregor, if you will, we just want to see him fall from grace that fast? Think about when Brock Lesnar came in the UFC and he got his first win. We couldn't wait to see him lose. How many people lost their mind when Frank Mir beat him? They lost their mind. Ronda Rousey, people were tuning in to watch her lose. They couldn't wait. When she finally got beat, people celebrated. When Les Carmouche almost choked her out, people were on the edge of their seats and screaming for her to lose. People wanted Conor to lose. And now that he's lost, they've never been happier. It's really mind-blowing for me to think about this. Why? The old adage goes, everyone hates a winner. Is that what it is? Does everyone hate a winner? Maybe. Maybe. Why? Let them be great. Let them bask in their moments. I'm telling you right now, Jon Jones does whatever he wants to Israel Adesanya at any point in that fight. Jon Jones could probably knock him out. TKO or KO. I'm telling you. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's just as fast. He's just as creative. And he's been in there with higher level. If he gets to fight Jon Jones, I was talking about 4-star, 5-star fighters. Jon Jones is like a 6-star fighter. Israel Adesanya has never met someone like Jon Jones while they're still good. He met Anderson Silva, who's, in my opinion, greatest of all time. But he fought him way too late. And again, that's not his fault. He was born in a different time period. Okay? It's not your fault how old you are. But you didn't get the best Anderson. Because the best Anderson in him would be a really, really good fight. And I would love to see it. I don't know any keys to victory for Adesanya against Jon Jones. I really don't. No one has solved the Jon Jones puzzle. No one. Alexander got really close, but allegedly he didn't even train for that fight, and he was out partying and drinking. He got really close. In my opinion, he won that first fight. That's for a different topic. This topic is no one's came close to dethroning Jon Jones. No one. People his size, people heavier, thicker, by the time, especially when they get into the ring, no one would be begging for this Daniel Cormier versus Israel Adesanya fight. Nobody would be begging for this Stipe Miocic fight with Israel Adesanya. People would love to see Jon Jones fight those two because it's relative. It's relative to the size. It's relative to the weight. Israel Adesanya we would say he's too small. If I put a post on Twitter or in Facebook groups that cover MMA and said Israel Adesanya versus the heavyweight champion, people would laugh me out of there. It would be considered trolling. But if I took out Israel Adesanya's name and put in John Jones's name, people would think it's brilliant. Everyone would chime in. They would have how they would win, how they would win. It would be a real conversation. Why are we doing this? Why is this a real conversation? Let him clean out his division first. He's not ready. John Jones had a tweet that says, this kid, by the time this kid gets the confidence, it'll be too late. I'll be at heavyweight. Are we still going to say, come on, Israel Adesanya, go up to heavyweight and fight John Jones? Instead of thinking what's different for Israel Adesanya, or what's next, let's take time just to praise him. Send him a message, how good he did, how masterful his performance was, how creative his walkout is. Let's remind him that the eyes of the nation, the people, the world are upon him. Don't punch people in bars. Don't crash your Bentley and run from the scene. Let's remind him that he's on the biggest stage of his sport. He just accomplished something phenomenal Saturday night. Never looked better. Let's praise him for those things and not call for the John Jones fight. It's not necessary. And if you want him to fight John Jones that bad, I truly think you're one of the people that just want to see his demise, because the Brock Lesnar example, the Ronda Rousey example, the Conor McGregor example. You're the problem. You're the problem.